The beliefs that we hold are kind of like computer programs for your mind, and they're super useful to figure out. If you know what programs that somebody's running, you can tell so much about them. You can know not just what they believe, but where they're going to fail, where they're going to succeed, how they're going to react in certain situations. And you can use them on yourself to figure out what programs that you're running to see why you're hitting certain limits, certain ceilings, and then what you can do about it to upgrade that belief. So in this video, I'm going to talk about a trick that helps me to figure out what mental programs people are running. And then I'm going to break down some of those mental programs step by step so that you see what I'm talking about. My name is Dr. Joshua Tanner. I'm a Stanford-trained medical physician and an AI systems architect. So I think about beliefs like apps for the mind, and they're really useful to whip out when there's a certain something that needs to be done. So if you need to drive somewhere, what app do you pull out on your phone? Google Maps. If you need to check your email, look at your email app. And it's the same way with situations in life. When people encounter situations, there's an app that they'll turn on, and it's a belief. So the trick I use to figure out what programs people are running is to listen closely for phrases, colloquial sayings, things that sound like conventional wisdom. I'm going to say a few of them, and I'm going to break them down so that you understand what I mean. For each of these mind programs, you can break people down into 3 groups. Group number 1 is the group of people that would benefit from installing the belief. If they install that belief, they move to group 2. Group 2 are the people who are successfully running that belief. In order to improve even more, in order to get into group 3, you actually need to let go of that belief, okay? So this is really important because it'll tell you which stage you're in and whether you should download that belief or let go of that belief. So let's get into the actual examples. The first example is the phrase, no pain, no gain. Let's talk about group 1. Group 1 are the people that don't like discomfort, no matter what it is. Those people would benefit from this because at the end of the day, discomfort builds capacity. There are a lot of people that don't have capacity and have zero tolerance for discomfort. And the truth is that in the beginning of trying anything new, pretty much anything that you do is going to be uncomfortable because it's all new. So as you get familiar with discomfort and build capacity, you find yourself in group 2, who's not afraid of discomfort. But the problem then becomes that not all gain is going to be a result of discomfort. Not all pain leads to improvement. Some pain is noise, not signal. It's easy to confuse suffering with growth, even when effort is no longer the limiting factor. The second belief is once in a lifetime opportunity, once in a lifetime chance. Have you ever heard that before? The first group of people here are the ones that don't have much opportunity. And so when an opportunity does land in their laps, it's best to treat it as a once in a lifetime opportunity, because if you treat it that way, you're going to take care of it and you're going to take full advantage of it, which moves you into group 2. You're taking advantage of the opportunity. This happened to me recently where I was connected with somebody who was quite high up and could open a lot of doors for me professionally. And I had a friend that told me that this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. And it made me smile because he was right. That's how I should be treating it. But if I graduate from that, and let's say I'm looking for another opportunity, or maybe I missed that opportunity for whatever reason it fell through, and now I no longer have an opportunity. If I keep holding on to that belief that that was a once in a lifetime opportunity, I kind of screw myself over. Because now I'm spending energy lamenting and, oh, I had a once in a lifetime opportunity, and I'm not looking for another opportunity again, because why would I if that was a once in a lifetime opportunity? As soon as that opportunity either comes into fruition, it graduates, or maybe you lose it, it's time to switch into a different belief, which is that wasn't a once in a lifetime opportunity. I can create opportunity. I can create more of those opportunities, and you'll actually be likely to do that. That's group 3. The third mental program, winners never quit and quitters never win, some variation of that. Now the group 1 that needs to hear this are the ones that don't understand that persistence is necessary for just about anything. In the beginning, persistence will beat early failure because whatever your goal is, there's a direction you need to go, and then there's a magnitude in which to go in that direction. In the beginning, you just need to move. Even if you're going in the wrong direction, you need to move to be able to get data back to tell you it's right or wrong. And that's going to require persistence. But at some point, inevitably, you're going to realize you're not really going the right direction, or you're going to be getting signals that you could be course correcting. So that's the dilemma of group 2. Group 2 is they figured out persistence, they know how to move in one direction, but this belief of quitting, I've seen people who misinterpret that to mean that turning a direction is quitting. So stopping one effort and trying something else is quitting. And the group 3 mentality is that it's okay to quit tactics. It's not okay to quit missions. Altering your efforts doesn't mean that you're altering your vision. In fact, the only way to accomplish really great visions is to be able to alter your course, to change your tactics. And the 5th mental program is to believe in yourself. I'm sure you've heard that before. The first group of people are those that are avoidant, and they don't start because they don't believe in their own capacity to do much of anything, or to fail, to persist. And so it's important to get that initial spark going in order to get to group 2. And group 2 are the ones that are believing in themselves, and they're moving. But that can quickly become a problem if your self-belief begins to be detached from reality. You've probably met people that are so caught up in their own belief that it's delusional, and you realize that their confidence is not a reflection of their competence. And so group 3 is to not just believe in yourself, but you believe in the process. You believe in yourself to the extent that you know that you can make it through the process. And the process is to try and fail and learn. Course correct. Try, fail, learn. So you believe in your own ability to do that. But it doesn't mean that you're capable of doing everything that you want to do without any evidence to support that. And the 6th belief that I've heard all the time is everything happens for a reason. So group number 1 that needs to hear this are those that have a lot of chaos and a lot of disorder in their lives. Because meaning is an antidote for the pain of chaos. But once you go from a chaotic environment to stable, if you're using that belief in group 2, that everything happens for a reason, well, now it can start to be buggy. Premature assignment of meaning can block learning and accountability. Back when I was an active Mormon, I used to hear this all the time, or some variation of it. It was a way to stop the conversation. It blocked curiosity, it blocked investigation. And so the group 3 here is that meaning is ascribed after investigation and analysis, not before. The 7th mental program, and the last one we'll cover, is if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Now, level 1, this is great if you don't know what you're doing, and anything that you do is probably going to cause a bigger mess. In other words, don't create new problems. So if you download that belief and you're not creating new problems, well, now you're in group 2. In group 2, you're not creating new problems, but no system is perfect. No solution is going to work forever. So what'll end up happening over time is that you accumulate debt. Could be tech debt, could be health debt, could be relationship debt. As long as you keep chugging along and you're not trying to fix anything, because today it happens to work, there will come a day where that debt becomes so great that it will break the system. And so the level 3 of this belief is to make small corrections and to stress test. And for this, you have to have an understanding of what you're doing. You're not going in and wrecking the whole thing like group 1 would do, but you're also not doing nothing and just leaving it like group 2. You're making small little tweaks and adjustments that are based on your understanding of the system. You're not going to get it right every time, but you're going to learn and see how the system adjusts. And that's really the only way that a system can survive and persist long term. Okay, so this was my quick and dirty way to figure out what systems, beliefs, and mental programs someone is running in their minds just based on what words that they use, what phrases they use. So I'm curious to know if you agree with me, if you've heard anyone say something like this, or if you disagree with my analysis on this, or you got one of your own. Feel free to leave it in the comments. I'm curious to know what you think.